can't always see him. Oh, there he is. I was looking for you over there.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Look, he switched to the right. He's getting conservative. Are you all set to go?
We're all set.
Okay, the meeting will please come to order. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or the city council for any further action. If you disagree with our decision, you have recourse in the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Secretary, please call the roll.
Ms. Darley? Mr. Ferguson?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Ms. Nevadas?
Here.
Ms. Powers?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Mr. Hennessy?
Present. Okay, anyone that's here for petition 2013-35, I believe that was withdrawn by the petitioner. That would be the property on northwest corner of Caterpillar Drive and McDonough Street. Unless you want to stick around and watch the festivities. Any other requests on the agenda?
No changes to the agenda.
Okay, let's go to number 1 here. Petition Express Signs and Lighting, Eddie Hartzell. Petition 2013-26.
Petition number 2013-26, the applicant is Express Signs and Lighting. They are the sign contractor. The owner of the property is Shahid Masood. Location is 1715 Glenwood Avenue. Their request is for a variation of allowed signage. The petitioner is requesting a variation to allow the installation of a full-color message center on a newly proposed monument sign. The 38,000 plus square foot site currently contains a multi-tenant medical office building that is zoned R2 single family residential. A variation of use was approved by the mayor and city council in November of 1995 to allow the office building use in the R2 zoning district. A condition of the approved variation at that time limited the allowed signage to one monument sign not to exceed 6 feet in height. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. The surrounding properties are a mix of vacant lots and single-family and high-density residential, with R2 single-family residential zoning, as well as R5 high-density residential zoning. Joliet West High School is located kitty corner from the site in question, and it contains R2 single-family residential zoning. It should be noted that the high school currently has a monument sign with a message center on the southwest corner of Larkin and Glenwood. Applicable regulations are as noted. This matter was reviewed at the Community Design Review Board meeting June 6th. There were no comments regarding the request. Under general discussion, the requested variation will allow the construction of a new monument sign that includes a full-color message center for the existing medical office complex. The size of the proposed message center is 3 feet by 8 feet. The text will be slow-moving or stationary and will include notifications for available services and upcoming events. The overall proposed height of the new sign is 12 feet. Although this is 6 feet higher than the original conditions allowed, the owner feels it is necessary for improved visibility. The material of the new monument sign is a face brick in order to complement the building. If the zoning board desires to approve the variance, the following conditions shall be included. 1, that the text be slow-moving or static, and 2, that the base of the sign be constructed with face brick to complement the existing building material. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes, I do.
May I have your name and address?
Eddie Hartzell, 3207 Wild Oak Court, Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make, sir?
The only comments I'd like to make is if you look at our drawing, we're going to be putting a sign on a diagonal of Larkin and Glenwood. I know you have houses to the north of it. You have the apartments to the south of it. Using a single face sign, you aren't going to get any reflection or feedback to the apartments or to the houses, the north of it. It's basically going on a corner that's going to face towards Joliet West High School.
Okay.
And all of our signs that we do, of course, they all have dimming at nighttime and dims down at nighttime.
Any questions or comments from the board? We're all pretty familiar with these signs over the years, so. Is there anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? I must swear you in.
Barb Newberg, 713 Lois Place. I'm really happy that they're putting the sign on an
You
angle.
swear to tell the truth, Barb?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm happy they're putting the sign on an angle. I don't object to the illumination. I'd like to know if they could compromise by having a structure that is 12 feet high, but lowering the lit area to be only 6 feet high. I see this as a residential parcel where you gave special approval. And I live in the neighborhood. That's all I have.
Thank you. Care to comment on that, sir?
The only problem lowering the sign to a 6 foot overall height is that you have, if you look, you have a huge stoplight box sitting there. And to be able to put it on an angle, that's the only place you have that you can put it, that it can be seen. And that box is like 5 foot, 1 inch. And it's actually just raised above the parking control box, I guess is what you want, or not, stoplight box.
Staff have any problems?
Staff has no objection to the 12-foot sign height as proposed.
I just have a question. How high is the Joliet West sign, do you know? I mean, how does it compare with that sign? The one that faces it?
You know, I did Joliet West sign. I think it's 10 foot.
10 foot, okay.
Yeah. But they didn't have a parking control box in front of it.
Right, no, I understand that.
Okay.
Anyone else wishing to speak in objection? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
As
Second.
stated.
Second?
Is that as stated or with the?
As stated.
As stated. We have a motion and a second to approve as originally stated. Call the roll.
Mr. Ferguson,
Aye.
Mr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas,
Aye.
Ms. Powers,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs,
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Petition 2013-27, express signs. Eddie Hostel again, just keep on going.
Petition number 2013-27, the applicant has expressed signs and lighting. They are the sign contractor. Owner of the property is Prayer Tower Church of God in Christ of Joliet, location 500 Stryker Avenue. Their request is for a variation on allowed signage. The petitioner is requesting variations on total sign area allowed from 20 square feet to 250 square feet, and on total sign height allowed from 11 feet to 30.5 feet, and to allow illumination of signage within a residential zoning district for 2 church wall identification signs. The 10-acre site currently contains the building and parking lot for the Prayer Tower Ministries. The property is zoned R2 single-family residential. Tower Place planned unit development was approved by the mayor and city council in March of 2011. A variation to allow a freestanding monument sign with LED message center along Interstate 80 was withdrawn by the petitioner in January of this year. Surrounding zoning land use and character, the adjacent properties to the west are single-family homes with R2 single-family residential zoning. The properties to the north, south, and east are vacant with R2 and RB restricted business zoning.
Condo used to be.
Applicable regulations are as noted. This was on the agenda for the Community Design Review Board on June 6th, but there were no comments regarding this request. The The petitioner is requesting variations on maximum allowed area height in illumination of signage for a church in a residential zoning district in order to allow wall signs on the two main elevations of their building. One sign will face Stryker and one will face Interstate 80. Each sign will contain Prayer Tower Ministries as the text. The variances are being requested in order to improve visibility and awareness of the church's location from Interstate 80. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
You've already been sworn in. Any comments you'd like to make on this?
Nothing other than, I think since this whole thing started, the faces on the name is gonna be black in the daytime. And it's a 3M material, and at nighttime it cuts down the light to about 50% of what normal light is on building signs.
It's not going to bother those two townhouse subdivisions behind there at all, is it?
No.
I remember they stopped the opening of McDonough Street going through there. In fact, I was the first owner of Midland Manor townhouses there back in the 70s sometime, I think it was. Okay, any questions from the board? Comments? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition. Ask the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Avis budget car. Anyone here? Petition 2013-28.
Petition number 2013-28, the applicant is Avis Budget Car Rental. The owner is Sears Holding Management Corporation. The location is 3340 Mall Loop Drive, and their request is for a special use permit. The petitioner is requesting approval of a special use permit in order to allow the addition of an Avis Budget Rental Car Agency within the Sears Auto Center located at the Louis Joliet Mall. The 17-acre site is zoned B2, which is our central business zoning district, and is part of the Louis Joliet Mall planned unit development footprint. The subject site is surrounded by other commercial outlets and users that are also zoned B2, except for the nursing home on Hennepin Drive, which is zoned RB restricted business. Applicable regulations are as noted. This was on the agenda for our Community Design Review Board meeting on June 6. There were no comments regarding this request. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit in order to operate a rental car agency within the existing Sears Auto Center space. Avis Budget will operate an office space and counter within the Maintenance Bay area and will utilize 2 full-time employees. 10 marked parking spaces will be located within the existing Sears parking lot adjacent to the Auto Center. The hours of operation will be Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, noon to 5 p.m. If the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions shall be included. The first one is our 180-day clause, which basically states that the special use permit shall terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the effective date of the approval of the ordinance. And finally, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
You swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes, I do.
Name and address?
My name's Joe Malley. It's 2454 Allendale Lane in Yorkville.
Any comments you'd like to make?
No, we've done this all over the country. We have about 15 in the Chicagoland area that we partner up with Sears, and we have a store inside their facility. That's
There
about
hasn't
it.
been an Avis in Joliet in quite a while, has there?
No, unfortunately, there's not. We have one on Romeoville in the Lewis University Airport. That's the
At
closest
airport,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
2 employees, who are they going to be?
That's not been determined yet. We, it's
Have your agent, your leasing
yeah,
agent, and...
yeah, we have it's an agency operator program where they have, it's a business, they have their own business and they run it for us.
Who was going to be doing the maintenance on the cars, the washing and all that, where that be done?
That would be the employees would do that.
And
there's
right
a-
on
there-
site there?
Yeah, there's already existing bay, Sears has.
And you've got runoff for the water and everything?
Yeah, I mean, they already have that all set up. And they handle all the building, like he said, all the building permits to put our little counter inside.
And you're gonna have a drop box for after hours and,
I'm not sure yet, honestly. We usually don't at the Sears, no.
okay. Any other
That can be
questions or
determined- that can be
comments from the
determined.
board? Anybody in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll, please.
Ms. Nevadas.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Felix Vargas, petition 2013-29.
Petition number 2013-29, the applicant is Felix Vargas, who is also the owner. Location is 624 through 626 Benton Street. His request is for a series of variations, including a variation of maximum lot coverage from 30% to 51%, to allow construction of a 24-foot by 30-foot detached garage on an undersized lot. The applicant would like to construct a 24-foot by 30-foot garage on the south portion of his residential lot at 624, 626 Benton Street. The purpose of the garage is to provide storage and work area for the petitioner's vehicles. The lot is 4,551 square feet and is located in an established northeast side neighborhood located just west of Henderson Avenue and north of Cass Street. The property is improved with a 2-story brick residence built around 1900. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the land use to the north, south, and east and west is single-family residential, all zoned R2 single-family. Applicable regulations are as noted. This case was on the Community Design Review Board agenda. There were no other comments from other city departments, governmental agencies, or public utilities regarding his request. The petitioner requests a variation of maximum lot coverage from 30% to 51% due to the limited size of his existing lot. The proposed garage will generally conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. The garage will have a rear yard setback of 10 feet and will be located 3 feet from the east property line. A new blacktop driveway will be constructed to lead to the proposed garage. The garage doors will face the alley. The color and style of the roof and siding will complement the petitioner's 2-unit residence. Should the board wish to approve this variation, staff recommends that the following conditions shall be included. 1, commercial use of the garage is not permitted. 2, that should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the variation. And finally, we have included the 180-day clause, which basically states that this approval shall terminate and lapse unless a building permit is obtained not later than 180 days of the approval of the ordinance. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
Felix Vargas, 624 East Benton Street, Joliet.
Okay. How long have you lived at this location?
Going on 3 years.
3 years? And the garage would just be for your own personal use?
Yeah.
No
just for
commercial
parking
activities?
vehicles.
That's all I have. Anyone else have any questions?
I do. If you got enough room to back straight out from that, I mean, is that gonna
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
enough
The
room?
10 feet will give me enough.
That'll
room.
give you enough space? Okay.
Anything else? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? We have a very agreeable audience today. Chair closes the petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Rob Brereton, petition 2013-30.
Petition number 2013-30, the applicant is Rob Brereton. The owners of the property are Marvin and Gladys Jones. The location is 310 Baker Avenue. Mr. Brereton's request is for a series of variations, including a variation of maximum lot coverage from 30% to 50% to allow construction of a 14-foot by 26-foot garage addition. The applicant would like to construct a garage on the east portion of his residential lot at the subject location, the northeast corner of Baker and Grant. The purpose of the attached garage is to provide safety and accessibility for the owner. The lot is 3,600 square feet and is generally located east of Richard Street and north of I-80. The property is improved with a one-story frame residence and a frame one-car garage, which will be demolished, and that was built around 1979. Access to the future garage will remain via the existing driveway entrance east of the house. The petition was filed May 17, 2013. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. The land use to the north, south, and west is single-family residential, zoned R2. The land use to the east is 1 and 2 family residential, zoned R3. Applicable regulations are as noted. This was on the Community Design Review Board agenda. There were no comments regarding this request. The proposed 14 by 26 foot garage will generally conform to the current style of the petitioner's residence. The attached garage will have a south-facing garage door and will be located at the end of the existing paved driveway located east of the house. It should be noted that the steep grade of the yard near the sidewalk along Baker prevents relocation of the driveway on the north side of the house. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
Ron Brereton, 2300 Benedict Avenue, Joliet.
Any comments you'd like to make in behalf of your petition?
No, not really. That's basically the whole reason why they're wanting to do the one-car garage there, attach it to the house just for the safety, and they're elderly people and that, and they don't move around that good. So that's, the whole reason why they want to do the attached garage.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board?
I'm a little confused. You're the owner of the property, or you're the builder?
I'm the owner of RB Remodeling.
Oh, you're the,
Builder,
okay,
yes.
all right.
The owners are Marvin and Gladys.
Okay, that's what I was just a little confused about that. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition, asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I move for approval, Mr. Chairman, with the attached conditions of commercial use, public nuisance, and the 180-day clause.
I'll second.
Chairman, call the roll with those additions, please.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Rob Brereton? Ron? Okay, Ron. United Architects. Anyone here?
Petition number 2013-31. The applicant is United Architects. The owner is Kathleen Cutler. Location 370 Hobolt Road. The request is for a variation of non-residential brick, of the non-residential brick requirement to allow renovation of an existing office building. The petitioner is requesting a variation of the non-residential brick requirement to allow renovation of a 10,000 square foot professional office building located at 370 Hobolt Road. The 1 acre site is zoned RB, which is restricted business. In September 1990, the board granted a variation of a front yard setback from 25 feet to 5 feet to allow parking in a required front yard area. Land use and zoning in the vicinity includes professional offices zoned RB to the north, parking and undeveloped land zoned RB to the south. Duplex residential zoned R3, 1 and 2 family residential, which was approved as a planned unit development, located to the east, and institutional, which is the Park District Airport, zone B3 to the west. Applicable regulations are as noted. This was on the agenda for our Community Design Review Board, and there were no comments regarding this request. The petitioner would like to upgrade the appearance of the building exterior as part of an overall renovation. The exterior will be changed from wood cedar siding to a combination of stone and hardy board siding. The non-residential building material standards require all masonry. Therefore, a variation is required. The petitioner finds that the cost to provide a 100% stone facade is excessive. A proposed building elevation and color photographs are part of the presentation. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Both gentlemen going to speak?
I can speak.
Okay. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth, sir?
Yes.
May I have your name and address?
James Cutler, 21416 South Majestic Pine, Shorewood.
Go ahead.
I'm a local optometrist. My name is Jim Cutler, and my wife and I bought this building to expand my practice. I have a practice on Jefferson, and we've outgrown our space. And even the practitioner I bought the practice from said the one thing he regretted is never buying a building. So got to that point. I was able to get the loan for this building through Small Business Association, and being an SBA loan, they were very tight with my money. And as you can tell, this building needs remodeling badly. And I believe that we went through a couple different remodels. My architect, Bob Gable with United Architects, went through a bunch of different scenarios for us. And this was probably the best look we could come up with the money we have available. And we have a sample picture of what the building will look like when we're done with the stone and the ephes siding. I plan on expanding my practice and hiring more people. We're already at that point. We just need to get rolling on our building and move in. So, any other comments? Bob has samples of the pictures as well as the stone.
Oh, that's not as heavy as it looks. Which color are you going to have? Make sure it goes with...
Well, the stone will look similar to this. It's
A lighter
it's a
stone?
variation of stone called
Okay.
Shady Canyon.
Is that fire resistant and everything?
Yeah, well, luckily we're right across the street from the fire department. No, I know, it is fire resistant.
They may be on vacation, you never know, or laid off or something.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that entire building right now is all wood. Wood
Yeah.
siding, wood. We're replacing all of that wood, and then on the back we'll be repainting and remodeling the back as well.
Right. Kendall had mentioned that it was going to be stone.
Can I have your name for the record, please?
Bob Gable from United Architects, 1002 Plainfield Road in Joliet. Kendall had mentioned again that it was going to be stone and hardy board siding, but it's actually the stone and what's called ephes or drive-it material above the stone and around the windows. But the look will be like the picture where you have the stone on the bottom and the ephes or the drive-it above and around the windows and up that gable portion. Because that gable is not really a straight projection. It's kind of has a bump in it, and there's a couple different things happening there with the funky windows up above, so we're planning on taking those out and creating a better canopy that comes out, and that would all be the stone look as well, with a little window above.
Would you have been able to get your loan if you would have had to go along with the ordinance the way it exists?
Absolutely not, no. They're very limited money based on what they figured the value of the building would be when we were done. That application alone took me months to get through. So I think we're lucky to get this money to be able to rehab a building here in Joliet.
Yeah, two of the conditions that are required by this board to grant approval is either you have to prove a hardship or a practical difficulty. I think you've demonstrated that.
Right, this is...
I think the project is very worthwhile, and I compliment you on undertaking it.
Thank you.
Go ahead, sir, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like Dr. Cutler had mentioned, we went through a couple of iterations and design ideas. This is probably the 7th or 8th option that we looked at, and we looked at a couple options where there was brick and stone and doing a lot of brick, but again, the cost factor was involved in all those options.
Yeah.
So this was the most, the best benefit aesthetically as well as economically.
Any questions or comments from the board? Anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? I will make the comment that I had several calls from homeowners associations and various citizens that live in the area when they saw the sign for the zoning. And I spoke to them and told them that it was not a major undertaking, that it would be a vast improvement. And I see no one showed up, so I must have done a sales job on them. I don't know. Anyway, if there's no other objections, I'll close petition to the floor and ask the board for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Mr. Ferguson,
Aye.
Mr. Graham,
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas,
Aye.
Ms. Powers,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs,
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Peter and Fay, oh, no, Elite Staffing would be the applicant, okay? Petition 2013-32.
Petition number 2013-32, the applicant is Elite Staffing. The owners are Peter and Fay Ferradoros. Location is 301 East Cass Street. Their request is a special use permit to allow temporary staffing and recruitment office location. The petitioner is requesting a special use permit to allow a temporary staffing and recruitment office in an existing storefront located at 301 East Cass Street. The site is located just north of Joliet Central High School at the northeast corner of Cass Street and Eastern Avenue. The property includes a 5,000 plus square foot brick mixed-use structure built in 1890 and a rear paved parking area located north of the building across a public alley. 2 apartments are located on the 2nd floor of the building. The petitioner will occupy the west half of the main level of the building, which is 1,260 square feet. An ice cream snack shop is located in the east half of the main level. The lot is 2,520 square feet. The rear parking lot is 4,290 square feet. The site is zoned B3 General Business. The land use and zoning adjacent to the site to the north is two-unit residential, zoned R3 1 and 2 family residential. To the south is institutional. We have the high school there, zone B3, and to the east and west, commercial, also zone B3. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments at the Community Design Review Board meeting regarding this request. The petitioner, Elite Staffing, is a sole owner operator business that provides temporary employment services to local industry. Elite Staffing plans to completely remodel the tenant space at the subject site. Elite has a 3-year lease of the site with an option to renew. Elite Staffing has offices throughout the Chicagoland area with corporate offices in Chicago. Adequate off-street parking will be provided at the site for the employment agency and other existing users. The employment agency days and hours of operation will be Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. with very limited hours on Saturday, and they will be closed on Sunday. If the zoning board desires to approve the special use, the following conditions shall be included. One, that the proposed parking area be repaired to fill existing holes in the pavement, and that the parking lot be striped within 30 days, that the rear alley be resurfaced or closed according to a recommendation of the Joliet Public Works Department. We have also included the 180-day clause requiring that the special use will terminate or lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is not obtained within 180 days. And finally, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Both of you going to speak? I'll swear you both in. Do you both swear that the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes.
May I have both of your names and addresses?
Ted Regas, 550 North Kingsbury, Chicago, Illinois.
Howard Topol, 226 Stanton Court, Buffalo Grove.
Okay. Any comments you'd like to make, gentlemen?
Just like to say that I think we'll probably be able to employ maybe somewhere up around 500 or more employees in a very short order. We're getting very busy. We have some new contracts coming up in the Southwest Corridor, and I think would be a real benefit to the community.
What exactly type of employee do you target?
It's light industrial, so they're working in factories, warehouses, that type of stuff.
Okay, will you be doing a lot of work with the warehousing down here in around Elwood in that area, or?
Currently, we don't have, do we have anyone in Elwood?
We don't have any active clients, but I think when we have more exposure in the Joliet area, we're hoping to gain some more clients.
Are these basically minimum scale out jobs?
Anywhere from minimum wage to $12 an hour type deals, depending on the job requirements.
Okay, and how do you advertise for these people to come in? Or?
Yeah, a variety of different ways, but whether it's radio, flyers, word of mouth, newspaper. We're probably the largest light industrial staffing company in the Chicagoland area. So we're in about 8-9 locations throughout the Chicago and suburbs.
How many employees does your organization have?
On a given day, we employ about 10,000 people.
In-house, we have about 140 to 150 employees in-house company-wide.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Please call the roll.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. We look forward to
Tom Wilcoxon, ASI Signage Innovations, petition 2013-33.
Petition number 2013-33, the applicant is Tom Wilcoxon of ASI Signage Innovations. The owner is Sanya Shah, and the location is 2025 South Chicago Street. The request is a variation to allow the addition of a 2.5 foot by 8 foot LED electronic message board on an existing monument sign, and to allow renovation of the monument sign using non-masonry material. The applicant is requesting approval of a variation of allowable signage to permit the installation of the subject sign on an existing monument sign and renovation of the sign using non-masonry material. The site is a rectangular shaped parcel with outside dimensions of 200 feet by 700 feet, or 140,000 square feet, which is around 3.2 acres. The property is zoned B3 General Business. The site is adjoined by a single-family residence, unincorporated Will County to the north, agricultural, zone B3, general business to the south and west, and highway right-of-way and undeveloped land, zone I1, light industrial to the east. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments at our Community Design Review Board meeting regarding this request. Under general discussion, the site consists of a 16,000-plus square foot, one-story brick medical office building, which was built in 1999. The applicant is requesting a variation to allow the addition of a 20-square-foot electronic message board on the existing main monument sign. Total sign area on the renovated sign will be reduced from 88 square feet to 36 square feet. The existing monument sign is 16.5 feet high and will remain at that height following the renovation. The new message board will be added within the redesigned framework of the existing sign. The petitioner is requesting approval to utilize a dark to medium brown metal cabinet rather than masonry base as part of the sign renovation. The style of the sign will match the west side location of this primary care clinic. Should the board wish to approve the variation, staff recommends that the following conditions shall be included. Actually, one single condition, and that is that the message sign not exceed 20 square feet, and that the message center must be slow-moving with no flashing animation permitted. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
Yes, I do.
Nod your heads. And could I have your names and addresses?
Sure. My name is Tom Wilcoxon with ASI from 711 North Park Street in Streeter, Illinois.
My name is Yatin Shah. I'm from 2025 South Chicago Street. I'm one of the physicians
Thank you.
at the practice.
Any comments you'd like to make?
Yeah, I mean, this is, the purpose of the sign is obviously for Dr. Shah's practice. It's an opportunity to rebrand it. We have existing signage at other locations that match the look and the style with the curved face and the colors and the logo. Also, the interest and the purpose of wanting to do an LED message center is to help, in a much nicer looking way to promote their services that they offer and so forth to passersby, including what's, being a healthcare facility be pretty important. They have an urgent care aspect, letting people know that the urgent care portion of the facility is open and so forth. So that's primarily the reason we wanted to move forward.
What is your specialty, sir?
Internal medicine and geriatrics.
Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, why are you not using the masonry base?
Sure. Well, the reason for that primarily, with the overall scope of the project, including the LED message center, has a relatively, high price tag with that. And also, with it being on the highway there with fairly fast-moving traffic, and also there's shrubbery and so forth at the base of it. So really didn't feel that the masonry base would really even be, that much of a difference in terms of, the aesthetics in terms of having a sign,
So you're saying that the shrubbery is going to probably cover that bottom
portion
part?
that you would have a base anyway, exactly.
And will that weather, my fear is that it's going to just kind of...
Oh, no, the way that we make the signs are made today, it's made to last for, very long
Won't
time.
rust out or
No,
any of
not
that?
at all. It has an automotive finish for the most part to it.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone opposed? Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition. Call the roll.
Ms. Nevares.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, the applicant is One Hope United, petition 2013-34.
Petition number 2013-34, the applicant is One Hope United. They are also the owners. The location is 500 Parks Avenue. Their request is for a special use permit and several variations to allow renovation of the former Park School into a not-for-profit licensed child daycare facility, providing care for children ranging from 6 weeks to 12 years old at a total capacity of 212 children. Also including a variation to allow a 6-foot-high monument sign with an LED electronic message board and a variation to allow 12 off-street parking spaces in the public parkway. To allow renovation of the former Park School into a not-for-profit licensed child care facility for children ranging from 6 weeks to 12 years old. The lot is 132.4 feet by 300 feet. And is located in an established northeast side neighborhood located at the northeast corner of Parks and Ohio Streets. The property is improved with a 24,000 plus square foot, 3-story brick and limestone institutional building, which was a former grade school, and paved parking lot. Land use to the north, south, east, and west is a mixture of single-family residential and 2-unit residential, zoned R2 and R3. Applicable regulations are as noted. There were no comments regarding this request at the Community Design Review Board meeting. Under general discussion, the petitioner is requesting approval to convert a former public elementary school into a not-for-profit daycare center. The One Hope United Center will be designed to accommodate 212 children ranging in age from 6 weeks to 12 years old. The facility will be licensed by the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. The daycare will have 11 classrooms located on 3 levels of the building. That's the lower, first, and second levels, and will be open from 6:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. Approximately 2,980 square feet of general counseling and general office space will also be located on the second level. The former east parking lot will be reduced in size and redesigned to accommodate teacher, employee, and visitor parking for the daycare center. A grass play area will also be provided. The petitioner met with Public Works and obtained design approval to utilize Parkway along Ohio Street and Youngs Avenue for additional visitor parking. Parents dropping off children will need to park their vehicle and bring the child into the facility as there is no curbside drop-off. An accessible exterior entrance will be created near the center of the building. Review of the site plan shows that 7 parkway trees will be required for removal to accommodate the parking in the parkway. The petitioner plans to replace all 7 shade trees and will provide 5 additional trees as well. If the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions shall be included. 1, that the maximum capacity of the facility not exceed 212 children. 2, that the site be developed in accordance with the site plan. We have also included the 180-day clause requiring that the special use permit will terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days of the approval of the ordinance. And our final condition is that if the above conditions are not completed within the specified time period or adhered to, the petitioner shall be sent written notice via certified mail of said default. The petitioner shall have 30 days after the receipt of said notice to cure said default. If the petitioner does not cure the default or requires additional time, this matter shall be scheduled for an administrative hearing. The hearing officer will determine if an extension of time is warranted, or if this matter should be referred back to the city council to consider revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do you swear the evidence you're about to present is the truth?
I do.
Name and address, please.
My name is Nyla Diab. My address is 4240 North Clarendon, Chicago.
Any comments you'd like to make, ma'am?
Just that we're very happy to be able to come into the Joliet community and provide our early education services. One Hope United, my client, I'm the project manager for this development, provides early education in 12 locations throughout Illinois, providing care for children from 6 weeks old all the way up to 12 years. Additionally, One Hope United is already in the community providing services to the residents by way of our counseling and case management that we are looking to co-locate at this site. We are very eager to provide the services. As I said, we'll be making updates to the building so that it is fully accessible. We'll be installing an elevator so that people can get to all of the floors. And we will also move to achieve LEED Silver certification so that the building is environmentally friendly.
Are you the owner? Who is the owner of?
My client, Christina, with One Hope United.
Okay. Are you a corporation or?
We are a nonprofit organization that assists other nonprofits with real
Where do you
estate.
get your financing from for?
We are a fee-for-service organization.
Okay. And you're going to have 212 students. Are those children all going to be there at the same time, arriving and leaving, or?
No, and maybe Christina, you can
'Cause
kind of talk a little bit about
I'm looking
how
at the
that.
congestion with, with everybody pulling up and trying to pick up those kids at one time. You're not going to be able to accommodate them.
Certainly. Christina Check,
Name and address, please.
232 Acorn Drive in Streamwood.
Okay, go ahead.
As Nyla mentioned, we have several other early childhood centers throughout the state of Illinois. So this center in particular will be open from 6:30 to 5:30, and children will be dropped off primarily between the hours of 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. We, however, do not restrict a drop-off time, so we may have families still dropping off at 9 a.m. Typically, families start to pick up around 3:30, all the way until close at 5:30. So it allows, and as Nyla mentioned, we will not have curbside drop-off, so families will have to walk the child in, and they'll be greeted in their classroom by a caregiver or a teacher.
Have you already purchased the building?
We have. We've purchased it from the city.
Subject to getting the variation?
Correct.
And was that financed or
Yes.
through
It was
local
financed.
banks? Or?
Our client, One Hope United, received a state grant to specifically provide childcare in the city of Joliet. The state of Illinois Capital Development Board issued an RFP for grant applications in the summer of 2011, and our client, One Hope, responded and was awarded dollars to provide care in Joliet based on the need for quality, affordable childcare.
Is that an ongoing grant or is that a one-time grant?
It was a one-time grant. I believe this was the first time the state did something like this in many, many years.
Then in the future, will be based on fees, right?
Christina?
Sure. We do work with the Child Care Assistance Program through the state of Illinois. So for this center in particular, we anticipate that the majority of our families will be receiving subsidy through the state of Illinois Child Care Assistance Program. However, we do have fee-for-service clients as well.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Yes, do you provide services for special needs children also?
To the ability that we can accommodate. If there is a child with mild special needs, of course. It is group childcare, so there are some accommodations that we can take into the classroom. And then there's some that if it's so profound, we just don't have the ability to care for, then we would have to really assess if it's the correct environment for the child. But for the most part, if it's behavior, if it's, slight disabilities, absolutely.
Thank you.
I have a question. You stated that you are working in the community right now, is that correct? Where are your locations now? I mean, it's not childcare, right? It's other things that you're doing. Okay, where are you working from?
5 North Larkin.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. And how many employees do you plan to have?
Probably approximately 50, and that just depends upon, part-time and full-time staff. Of course, we will be licensed by the state of Illinois, so there are staffing requirements set forth by the state. But, we'd like to bring in as many employees as possible. For those folks that need some part-time schedules, if they're going to school, we'd love to give them an experience in a high-quality early childhood program.
And where will they park?
We have employee parking designated for our lot to the west, and also some of our spaces towards the back. And as Christina mentioned earlier, parents will pick up and drop off, obviously going to wherever their final destination leads them. And so we will also assume a portion of parking will take place for our employees towards the back of that main lot.
Would the chair, secretary notice that Mr. Ferguson had to leave for medical reasons?
So noted.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, from the board?
I have a question. You will be providing bilingual services, I assume?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're currently in, several other communities, including Aurora and Elgin, and how we've accommodated that, the bilingual or dual language programs, is to offer at least a bilingual support in the classroom.
Anything else? Anyone in the audience wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? A lot of people just enjoying the show today. Chair closes petition to the floor and asks the board for discussion and a vote.
I move for approval, Mr. Chairman, with the attached 4 conditions.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the petition with the attached provisions. Call the roll.
Ms. Powers?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Nevadas?
Aye.
Mr. Hennessy?
Aye. Like to welcome our favorite audience member back. I haven't seen him in a while. We had some problems conducting a few meetings without your presence here. Watching your reaction lets us know if we're doing it right or not. All those in favor of approving the minutes of the last meeting signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of adjournment, so signify.
Aye.
Thank you.
Well, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We'll see you at the fireworks. Are you going to taste the Joliet?
You know, I worked there.
Oh, you have?
This is all
Yeah.
magic.
Posted.